right, we locked in right now. It's the Wheel1 podcast. Your boy Master Twice got a special guest in the cut right here. You know, good friend Nishan came through on me, aka the Nissan, powerful on the road. Don't forget that. But introduce yourself to the people. Let them know.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Nishan. I met my boy over here on set a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, almost like a month ago. At a BMO commercial. It was a lot of fun, and yeah.
Yeah, now we here. You know, we tapped in, we locked in. It's been a minute for you guys that are watching, because I know we took a break. You know, we on season 2 now, and we had to get it started right. So I thought, why not start it this way? So Nishan, we're just gonna kind of do this how we usually do it on the show. Like, you know, we kind of want to know about, like, this is like big Nishan always to try to put it to people. So we want to know about little Nishan. So it's like, where you grew up, how you grew up, you know, family life, civil life, like whatever, like, you know, what are some things that kind of stand out to you about your upbringing?
Okay, cool, yeah. I just go. Okay, my bad. I mean, it's my first podcast. I don't know what this is.
It's all good. We just talking.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Saga. I live with my mom, my dad, and my younger brother. Growing up, elementary school wise, it was okay. Could be better. Some people were dicks, but, you know, you kind of just go past that. And then high school got even shittier in terms of, like, the people. But, you know, you kind of just had to power through that. I mean, the bullying kind of sucked, but, like...
So, like let's kind of dive a little bit into that. Because, like, you know, I feel a lot of people don't want to be as vulnerable about things like that. But, like, for you to just upfrontly say it like that, like, how did that affect you, really? Like, at that age? And, like... what were things that you used to cope through those things?
Mentally it was. Wait, am I allowed to swear and stuff here?
Of course, we said
I mean, mentally it was. Mentally it was like shitty, like it sucked. But in terms of like growing up from it, I mean, it taught me a lot more about like patience and stuff, and like you know, just like drowning out the white noise, or like if there's like a dumb situation going on between me and a person, or a dumb situation going on with like other people, I kind of just like I'm there, but I'm not trying to like cause any ruckus or anything, or say anything like stupid or dumbfounded. But yeah.
So like, so what would your like advice be for someone that was like kind of like dealing with a situation like that?
I would say in terms of stuff like that, if you have like a good like group of people, or not even a group of people, depending on how introverted or extroverted you are, if you at least have like that 1 or 2 friends that you can talk to stuff about this, unless you're like one of those people that's like super dope and close with your family, then yeah, talk to your parents about it and see what they say. But not all people really talk to their parents about shit. I mean, I say zero shit to my parents, so like unless like it's like stuff about like work stuff. But yeah, I only talk like personal shit mainly to my friends, because when I sometimes test it out with my parents, like I'll tell them like a lie about a fake situation and see how they act about it, and then if it's like shitty, then I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about personal shit with them. So yeah.
So like, all right, now I want to kind of backtrack a little bit, going back to like, you know, how you grew up now, growing up in Saga, high school life and all that. Like you said, it wasn't the greatest, but got through it. What were some things back then, or even like, you know, further back, like middle school, like, you know, or like junior school, where it was like some hobbies of yours that you kind of like always had that you just loved as a kid, like, you know?
Hobbies wise, as a kid during elementary school, probably mainly playing card games like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff.
I used to fuck with Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day.
But my parents were really strict about the whole card game playing thing. Like, my dad wouldn't let me get cards, so I went super ghetto and douchebaggy by watching people play the game, and then I asked if I can look at their decks as they're playing before they draw, and I would take some of their rarest cards, and then I would go to the next duel over and do the same thing over and over again until the bell rings, and then I try to make a deck out of that.
Finessing your way to the legendary deck. That's how you do it.
Yeah. I mean, the deck wasn't the greatest, but like later on my dad caved, and he also wondered where I got the cards. I'm like, my friends gave them to me because they saw I made my dad feel really bad. I was like, some friends gave me their crappy cards because they noticed I was the only one that stopped playing the game or has the card game, so they were trying to give me cards to make a deck. And my dad was just like, "Oh."
He's like, "Oh man, he's making us look like the poor kid at school now." Like, you know, like
yeah, something like that. But like, yeah. But I just made him feel really bad about it because he was just like, "Certainly, you can't have fun.
You can't have fun.
You just gotta do school stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
So, getting a little bit into that though, like, so what's like the background? Like, you know, where are your people from?
Oh, I was born here, but I'm Sri Lankan.
Okay.
So my parents were born specifically like Jaffna. I'm really shitty with my geography in general, but that's where my parents were born and raised. They just they met each other, got married the normal way, and then they just
The normal way.
Well, I mean, it's either the normal way or the forced way.
I know what you mean, but it's so funny because like I feel in that region of the world, like east to Middle East.
Yeah,
like,
well, I'm at that. Well, my parents are at that point in my life where they're just like, "So, Nishan, are you getting any bitches?
Are you getting any bitches?"
Like, give off that vibe. Like, are you with anyone? Is it serious? Because like you need them grandkids like ASAP. And in my head, I'm like, "Fuck off! No, you don't. I will have them when I want." Or
I feel you on that, but it's.
I mean, I haven't even had a girlfriend yet, so like, just give me like the time, you know.
I mean,
it's just annoying because my parents are getting older, but yeah.
Yeah, like there's the pressures. It's hard to have pressures when it comes to especially like looking for a partner because it's like
you know. At the same time, I'm at the point where I'm just like mentally, I don't give a fuck what they want in terms of like having grandkids and whatever. They'll get it when they get it.
You know,
because I don't want to mentally like destroy myself with all the stress and the finances with the things that comes with kids. Not saying kids are horrible.
No, they're blessings. They're blessings.
Yeah,
they're blessings.
I mean, they're not horrible, but sometimes they may not be for everyone if they're forced into the situation, kind of thing, right?
I love to say this.
So I don't want to be forced into like a relationship or something that I don't want, and then like kids that I didn't like plan for, and then I end up just
resenting life.
Yeah, resenting life, or just being super neglectful and just like being feeling shitty and like guilty and whatever.
I mean, I definitely get that because, like I said, I say this a lot that a lot of people can have kids, a lot of people shouldn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of people should not be raising youth because they're just youth themselves, even if they're grown ass people.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
like I'd say I'm pretty good with kids. I just can't see myself having kids. Not like anytime soon. Not saying I don't want kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, just let me get a girlfriend first. I don't even know what relationships are like. Fuck.
So. Going back to that, like, how old are you now?
I'm 29.
Oh, wow. We the same age right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. 94, baby. Shut up. Are you, wait, 94?
94.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out. You know, we stay connected somewhere or another. You know, we just find each other, man. It's that 94 shit. But, so now I kind of want to go back a little bit, and I kind of want to talk about, like, some passions that you had growing up that you were young that you feel kind of still burned through to today. Like, you know,
passions. I'd say just like in general, just like being active, like playing sports and stuff, and like working out. Working out got more serious after high school.
What was your favorite sport growing up?
Growing up, a mix up between soccer and basketball, but also when my dad forced me and my brother to do taekwondo because back in elementary school I was fat as fuck, and then high school because of like all the swimming and the taekwondo. My dad forced me and my brother to do in the YMCA. I got like anorexic skinny in high school, and then but I really I'd say taekwondo is probably my most favorite because I actually competed in that up until COVID, and then I stopped. But I still keep up with it sometimes.
So like, what was the things about taekwondo that kind of like? Because like for me, when I played basketball, it was like I kind of went into this like I was like say like a therapeutic zone.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like kind of like I just forgot about everything else that was happening.
Oh, taekwondo is where I take my anger out.
Oh, okay. So this is almost like
because like me in general, like in terms of emotions, like in front of friends or except with like my family, anger I show with my family. But besides my family, besides my family, just like friends and like being outside in general, I never show anger. I don't say keep it bottled up, but I just like keep that to myself. Like, sure, I'll have a sterner tone if like I'm not liking what's going on or like the situation or whatever during the day. but I'm not gonna like take it out on people for no reason because they didn't do anything unless they did something, and I would just like kindly let them know, and then I would just take out said anger at the gym or back when I did more taekwondo, or I would just have a roast off with my mom. So
I mean, I definitely get that, and like, see, I'm like a mixed bag. Like, I'm definitely a person where I don't like to be angry, but if people get me there, I have no problem, like, you know, just pushing myself over the limit. Like, fuck it. Now I'm mad.
yeah,
You can get it, like, you know, and nobody say nothing to me because then you could get it too.
yeah.
But that's obviously not always the most productive way to handle things.
I mean, there's that one person, he who shall not be named on set that we were all talking about. That like that person like internally made me angry, but the fact that other people knew how much of a douchebag he was made me feel better about it, because then it was funny just talking shit about him because he keeps constantly doing what he's doing on set, and yeah. But it's a good laugh because we all talk shit about him, so whatever.
I mean, those ones where it's like your thoughts are kind of justified.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not an asshole for thinking this guy's an asshole because he actually is an asshole.
Yeah, because people came up to me and just like, yo, did you know this guy's like this? And I'm like, yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like,
I'm like, welcome to the club.
It justifies you, and then you're like, all right, you know what? He's a dick, so let me just not even stress it because they're just like, it's not even worth it. So I definitely understand those ones. So now, I kind of want to know now because we kind of slide a little through, like, you know, a little bit of the things that you like growing up and everything like that. So I kind of want to know, just like I asked everyone this question too, it's like how their views on the world and society is right now. Just because, like, for everyone it's different, and you know, it's real people telling real stories. So you know, I want to hear your side of the story.
Like what the world is like in general, or
for
like
you,
my thoughts
like
about the world.
When you hear that statement, what comes to mind?
Shit. Like straight up doo doo. Like fucked up. Could do things better. Like yeah, just really shit.
I mean, I definitely agree with you with that. All at the same time, I do feel like there's like
a minuscule of good, but it's slowly fading away from me.
I feel like there's like with everything in life, it comes with a balance, and unfortunately, I feel like you were right. Like, you know, the scales have tipped more towards the shitty side of life.
Yeah, well, like I'm I have to make more money than I'm usually making now. That's why I'm really trying to push, and I could be trying harder. I could be trying harder with the career I want to do in acting, but like at the same time,
we're gonna get into that too. You know?
Yeah, but at the same time, like just finance in general in Canada is kind of getting more depressing with all like the rent increases and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I pay for rent at home, so that's fine. Like, and my parents are like super agreeable on that. But like to think about having like my own place at some point, it sounds really hard unless I get like a roommate or something, or like me and my brother move out or something.
Yeah, it's not easy out here. Like, you know, I've been living by myself for a while now, and like, you know, I do have like things that, you know, I found ways to make it work. You know, little things that help me out in between. But it's not an easy transition, you know, and like you said, especially like in today's day and age, where it's like I remember like 10 years ago looking at the papers and like there's something like 2-bedroom apartments were going for like $1,100, and it's like, oh, I wish.
I mean, now people are doing like, oh, I got a bunk bed for $650. So
that's fucking crazy. If someone offered me a bunk bed for $650, I'd want to slap them.
Yeah,
I'd be like, you're disrespectful.
I'd be like, top or bottom? Okay.
Yeah.
It's like that matters though.
Nah, like that's I did see something like that. Like someone was renting out a living room for about $1,200 a month.
Yeah, and then today in Brampton, a landlord found out that like the person that was living, like his tenant or whatever, was subletting like 5 to 10 people in the house that he didn't know about, and he just got like him and all those extra people that came out of nowhere. Like literally a whole army of people just came out of that house. When he called the cops on him and everything, and he got him kicked out. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
It takes a long time to actually get someone kicked out of the house, though.
Yeah.
So, like, he was probably there for, like, almost a year before they could actually, get out.
I don't know if he got kicked out yet, but, like, it was just him, and then the cops were just, like, taking the people that weren't supposed to be there.
Technically, because if they're not on the lease, then.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, but Smart. Those 5 other people were paying off his rent. You pocket a little extra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You pocket a little extra. You was like,
I mean, the things you got. I mean, you can't blame what people got to do to hustle, considering the cancerous, the cancer that is like financing in terms of like getting your own place and rent in general.
It's mainly
Just
in
life in
GTA.
general.
Though.
Just life in GTA.
Because,
Not even just like rent, just like groceries.
yeah, everything's
gas,
expensive now. Like,
all of it.
everything's going up.
It's expensive.
That is true too. That is true. You want to go on a date? That might be pricey depending on where you going.
It doesn't have to be It doesn't have to be pricey if like the other person kind of understands.
We balling on a budget out here.
Yeah, no, not even like on a budget or whatever. Like just like you can go anywhere wherever you guys want to go. I'm just saying like I feel like in terms of like dating in general, like if like the said like partner like likes you a lot, then like it would be cool like sometimes if like they hooked you up or they like split a meal with you or something, you know.
Well, I feel that should be a given.
Yeah,
because
okay, let's say after like 3 to 5 dates, like they should. It would be nice if they like pitched or just like, be like, oh, I got you, because like I really like your company and stuff, and like stuff like that, you know. Like,
I'll keep it a book.
Just the little things, like doesn't have to be every time, like once every couple dates, like fuck.
I'll keep it real though. Because I've encountered that. You know what I'm saying?
I recently encountered that again, and I fucking regret it. Like I was seeing someone for like about 2 months, and then the only thing I respect her for is that she ended things in person. And,
gotta respect that.
Yeah, and that never happened to me before, because usually things end would be like ghosting, or
text message.
Yeah, but a shitty text message, not even like a good one,
or a phone call. Phone call sometimes it's like.
I would love a fucking phone call.
Honestly, the phone call hurt me real bad. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like,
I feel like a phone call is better than a shit text.
It is, but it's like at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna fucking hurt, but at least like they want to talk, kind of thing. I don't know.
It's a jump ball with that one, because it's like, yeah, they want to talk, but it's like
slam dunk on your chest with a dagger.
You know what I'm saying?
That's top of the basket.
That's what it feels like. It's like, yeah, you want to talk, but then it's like, oh shit.
Your hopes and dreams.
And now I'm just sitting here by myself, just like fuck, like. So it's a jump ball with that, but like I definitely agree with you though, because like I feel like with like mainly with the girls I'd be consistent with. That's usually the case.
Yeah, but the thing that got to me was what she said. She said she was mentally checked out, and then I said, did I do or say something wrong? And she said, if you did, I would have told you. Literally in the 2 months that we were seeing each other, we've only had one argument, and it was the day she ended things, and it was the same, and luckily it was the same day I got my new car, thank God. So I didn't feel too bad about the whole thing. Like, when she ended things, I was, like, super optimistic and kind of, like, in a happy mood, because I didn't want to give her the benefit of the doubt or, like, kind of show weakness. Yeah. Also, at the same time, I do this with any situation, not just dating. I kind of mentally prep myself for the worst situation possible, kind of thing. But I would be honest, I probably use that the most when it comes to dating.
You always got to be on your P's.
Which is shitty. Like, I should be more hopeful, but, like, considering the things I'm hearing in dating stories and just people in general in 2023, y'all are fucked up, folks. But, like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, everyone's going to have their horror stories. Everyone's going to have their heart broken by somebody, and it's going to be like, oh, this was the worst thing ever. But at the same time, that's the beauty of life.
But here's the kicker. When she said she was mentally checked out, she said she felt like this for a couple weeks, but really wanted to make things work because she really, like, cared about me and stuff, and she really liked me. But if she's felt like this for weeks and didn't want to talk about it beforehand, it made me kind of feel like she was just using me for the last couple weeks to, like wine and dine her without talking about whatever, like, demons or whatever thing she's feeling about, like, her feeling wrong about something.
That definitely...
Like, it would have been nice to talk about it. Like, why didn't you want to talk about it? Like, I even tried, like, exploring, like, what it meant her by being mentally checked out, and she was really fucking blank about it. Like, I was talking to, like, concrete.
That's like a because reason. It's like, oh, why'd you do that? Because. It's
yeah, but she was like, because I don't know, just not.
Yeah, it's that's a polite way of saying it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
Like, like that's what she gave you the old
The old Yeller.
yeah, or I was gonna say George Costanza,
Oh, fuck.
it's not you, it's me, like, like that's what it. I've definitely got one of those, and
Yeah.
those ones, they suck because it's like they build it up as like, oh, I'm going through something, and like, which they could.
Yeah.
They
But at
could
the
be-
same
gotta
time, my
give
friends
people the
say I
benefit of
dodged a bullet because like I really like a partner who likes to be active or like go to the gym, not constantly, but just like being active in general. Like I like doing outdoorsy things.
Mhm.
And one of the red flags I got from her when I talked to her about like, oh, maybe we could like work out together sometime or like do like hikes and whatever. And she's just like, I don't know if I'm ever really or thinking about going to the gym anytime soon. And I was just like, oh.
Really?
That kind of thing.
Why do you feel like that one cuts you so much? Like, or that like almost like a deal breaker for you?
I wouldn't say it's like a deal breaker for me. It's just more of like a plus for me. Like if you're into like fitness or you just like being outdoorsy or just like healthy in general, like I love that because like I would like to be with a partner where I can do so many like fun crazy things with rather than like one that like, oh, I can't do this because like or whatever so and so.
I mean, I feel you on that because like don't get me wrong, because like I love to be active for the most part. But at the same time, it's like, if I have a partner that's not that active, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't really care. It's like, I'm going to do it regardless. And
Yeah.
like, if you pull up, that's great. But, we'll find other things in the meantime, between time. But I feel like that's like kind of like the thing about relationships is like, sometimes you're just not going to find, you're like, more times than not, you're not going to find someone who you like click with so many things where it's just going to work like that. And sometimes you kind of got to like, see how you guys balance each other out by indulging in those like other things that like are different.
But even after it, when things ended, I'm just kind of like I'm actually glad it ended because like I feel like it just wouldn't have worked out later on.
I mean, sometimes that's what it is. What is meant to be will be.
Plus, my friends were just like, "You can do so much better than Nishan." I'm like, okay.
Sometimes that's the peer pressure from friends is always the greatest because sometimes people just it's it's one thing to see something from the outside looking in, very different when you're inside looking, inside it. So there's always that. But so one thing I kind of want to go through, we always bring this up in the show, big thing. We're touching a little bit on it earlier too, just about because mental health is a big thing for me. So we always kind of like to talk about a situation in times where you first had to like really think about your own mental health and how to help get yourself out of whatever funk that was.
Okay.
And what do you think that was for you? I mean, you did say little things about the bullying, but like, anything.
Like, what was my lowest point mentally, or
well, not necessarily lowest, but just anyone you just want to share that, like, was a funk that you had to grit and kind of pull yourself out of.
Well, I guess like in terms of high school, it was pretty bad the years I was there. Like in terms of not even just like the bullying, just like the people there and like my family like at the time and stuff. Like it was just like a lot of pressure and it was just shitty situations. It did get to the point where like I at one point I did give like my family and also the people that knew me at school a bit of a scare where like I wanted to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. Like I wanted to I literally did the whole left a note, went to do off my own thing, and then decided if I want to do the thing I want to do or not. Obviously I didn't do it. And then yeah. But I mean, I don't think about doing it anymore, but I still think about it a lot. Because I'm just like, oh, what if I did actually end things? Oh, then I wouldn't have to think about this. I wouldn't have this on my back and shit. But then I also thought about it's like, oh, but I'm just going to be hurting tons of people, and then people are going to go, oh, why do you take the coward's way out or whatever? And I'm just like, I don't know.
See, like, I could only imagine how, like, tough that is, just in general. Because, like, a lot of people deal with, suicidal thoughts and things like that, and it's not an easy topic in general.
No.
And it's a touchy one, but I definitely do think it's one that, like, it's not talked about enough. Because then that's why people I feel are more turned to it because they don't talk about it enough, and you feel alone, and then you feel so alone to the point where you're like, you know what, fuck it, like, would it be any different, and mm-hmm. I feel like it's always a dangerous space like that, and like that's why it's good for people, like,
yeah, like for me I was more thinking of in terms of like if I did it, would I finally like have like a release, like would I finally like be good and not like stress out about all this fucked up shit, or dumb future shit.
See,
Like, one thing I keep getting annoyed about, like, with my family, unfortunately, like, is the whole, like, what are you gonna do in the future in terms of, like, you gonna, like, are you gonna get married? Like, are you gonna get kids and stuff? Like, I don't want to think about that. Let me think about that when I'm, like, mentally and, like, financially, like, ready for that.
see, well, two things I have for that. One, I feel like you're never really ready for those things.
Okay, maybe not ready, but at least, like, more prepped for the situation at hand. Like, at least, like, you have, like, majority of your shit together. And first and foremost, have someone in your life that you would consider your life partner.
Oh yeah, of course.
Whereas, I hope to God my parents don't try this with me because they keep making jokes about we'll set you up with someone. Even my aunts and uncles are doing that. Bro, I'm not even that into Sri Lankan girls anymore. So like,
Matt, why you moving? Like, why you doing that to the hometown team?
Nah, it's not even the hope. Okay, don't get me wrong. Like, I've dated Sri Lankan women. In my past, I guess I just had, like, bad pickings or whatever, because a lot of the ones I dated were just, like, mad toxic or, like, really, like, unrealistic, but just mainly, like, toxic in general. I don't know if it's, like, because of the household they were raised in, or they just think the things they say and do is, like, okay. But, I think, like, in terms of, like, the GTA, they're a little scary, but if I, like, tried, like, outside the GTA, like, way outside of just fuck off Ontario and just, like, anywhere else, then, like, sure, I don't know.
He's like, yo, there's a certain attitude with some of them over here.
I mean, I don't know, like, growing up, I don't, like, even right now, like, I have, like, one to, like, maybe 3 Sri Lankan friends. Like, majority of my friends are black, white, and Asian, and my closest friends are black, so.
This is how it goes sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The black people, we accept anyone who just walks with us.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally, like, my best friend, Kalbena. Like, I met him through Frosh, basically. I had a shitty Frosh leader, like, he was mad fucking boring, so I pretended to be lost, and then Kalbena ran into me, and he's just like, are you lost or something? I'm like, yeah, I can't find my Frosh leader, but I said it so nonchalantly, like, I could give 2 shits, and then Kalbena just put his arm on my shoulder, and he's just like, bro, for real, did you just, like, ditch your Frosh leader because he was boring as fuck? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, alright, you're rolling with me. And I'm like, from then on, I've been best friends with him since, and now he's getting married in November, so.
Shout out to Quabs, Quabs, you know what I'm saying? You might find someone at the wedding, you know, that's I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That might be an aim, that might be a spot, it's gonna be turned.
In terms of the gigantic friend group we have, everyone is, like, either coupled up, married, engaged, or married and have kids.
There's always someone you don't know that pulls up to the wedding. That's all.
That is true. So, but
and it's an African wedding too.
Yeah,
it's about to be lit.
African French, but yeah,
it's about to be lit. It don't matter
because his girl is French. So.
It don't matter. It's about to be lit. Yeah. I could see it now. You know what I'm saying? It probably could be raining dollars in there for some reason because they just do that.
Quebec, so it should be lit.
Yep. I'm telling you. I feel like I'm going right now. But like, all right, so it was kind of like bring it back though, like with the pressures and you said like the stressors and like what were kind of one ways that you got through them, because you said like those were the kind of things that kind of like really put you in that funk. So before you answer, one thing for me that helped me, I'll never forget this. Like I heard it. I always say this, but I heard this in the Van Wilder movie. National Lampoon's Van Wilder. He said, "You shouldn't stress so much because, now I'm like the quote is like leaving me. It was, don't take life so serious because you never make it out of that."
Oh, okay.
So like once I heard that, and I was like probably like 8 years old at the time, way too young to be watching that movie. But shout out to my Duke, she's a real one. But yeah, when I heard that at that age, it kind of stuck to me because it was like, yeah, like as much as life is serious and we should take it serious, at the same time, we shouldn't, because that's what leads to all the depression and stresses that like are sometimes self-inflicted. Because like, yeah, it could be from other people, but then our thoughts really take the most of it. And then when we're alone, that's where we're thinking about, we should be doing this, should be doing that. Like, but in general, it's like, you're not gonna make it out alive, like like as much as it matters, does it really? So it's like it's a good way to kind of like release some of that stressors. But like, what were some ways that you kind of had to get through that, back then?
like back then when I was much younger.
Or just like high school days, or even like right now, like, you know.
Well, in terms of when I was much younger, not really anyone, to be honest. Like elementary school, obviously. High school, to be honest, not really anyone in terms of that regard, because it was just kind of like hard or weird to talk about it. Like one time I would talk about something to someone, and then certain person like blurted stuff I said about something, and then they made like a joke about it in front of everyone. Everyone thought it was funny, and then
So that's where you gotta go. That shit ain't funny.
yeah. But you can only do so much against like a room full of people. But like, yeah. But in terms of like later on, it would be like usual, like talking to like my best friends, like either Bennett or my other best friend Nell, about like personal shit. If not that, I got really lucky. Okay, not really lucky. I got in a car accident last year.
Jesus.
Like a truck turned into me, and then luckily, like I was good. I just got like a concussion, but I was stupid with the concussion because I didn't know you're not supposed to sleep with the concussion.
Yeah, you can go to like a coma or some shit.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm gonna go for a nap. Like it was,
that's the worst because you feel tired.
yeah, I was literally on the way to set, and then this 18-wheeler just like turned into me without like checking his signal, and the guy comes out and he had fucking AirPods on, and then fast forwarding everything. I asked the tow truck guy before he took my old car to the shop before they said it got totaled or whatever, to drop me off on set. And so he pulled up to set with my totaled car, and then everyone was like, "Yo, whose car is that? It's all fucked up." And then I come out, I'm like, "Oh, hey guys," like kind of thing, like as like to make things like laugh heartedly. And like luckily it was a quick shoot, and then I got home, and then I thought I was taking a nap. I ended up going to bed at like I took a nap at like 4, and then I ended up waking up at midnight, and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, that's why those concussion naps are not good, because you never really know how long they'll. And it's just like you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, but backtracking, yeah, it would usually, but because of the accident, I got set up with like yoga therapy, but also like actual therapy. Mm-hmm. So I would have like a Zoom call with like a therapist. They set me up with like once or twice a week,
which is amazing.
It was really helpful. So yeah,
I think the same thing too, because like me after I got hurt, like after I got shot, I had a therapist, shout out Martha, I always show her some love. But yeah, like she really helped me out a lot, because at first I was like, fuck, I want to talk to a therapist for, like, I don't need to tell nobody about my feelings or whatever the fuck. But then to just sit down and have someone just ask who doesn't know me and it's not really judgmental about the situation and be like, so what do you want to talk about? And like kind of have me control that open slate of like what I want to get off my chest. It was helpful because it was something that I needed. Didn't know I needed until I did it. So,
yeah.
I always recommend it for everyone, and it's amazing to hear that. In a negative, it kind of came out into a positive.
Yeah, because like I'm like it's kind of shit. Like I find it shitty that I can't talk about personal shit with my family, because like when you try to, they take their response are taking things like the dumbest or wrong or like worst way possible.
I mean, that can always be the case, because like even me and myself, like my parents were a lot more open, in general, but at the same time, there's not everything I feel I can talk to them about, and like even the things that I do, I know sometimes they're gonna like feel the complete opposite about it, but I'm just on this like I kind of just got to be like, fuck it, this is where I'm standing, like this is where if I gotta die on this hill, I'm gonna die on this hill. And what, you're not gonna love me no more? Mm-hmm. And once you kind of like put it in that perspective, it's like, why should you be afraid to say how you feel with the people you love? Because at the end of the day, if you love me like that, what I say, and even if I disagree with you, that shouldn't change that, because we can agree to disagree on things. We don't have to agree on everything, Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's a good thing to have, especially like in family dynamics, because it's like, you never want to be in a situation where it's like you live in a house full of strangers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super close with my brother, so sometimes I talk to him about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, my parents, I can't do shit with them.
Yeah, because it's like I realized for me as I got more into adulthood, I learned more about my parents and them as like people, not as parents.
Yeah.
And once I kind of like separated that and like, oh, okay. They kind of did that. Okay, I kind of did some shit like that back in the day too. And like when I kind of was doing shit like that, I was like, oh wow, they're like real people. Like they're not like you. As your whole life, you got to see them as this like almost like, oh, I wouldn't say like necessarily full on authority figure, but like, you know, there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, but the other shitty thing that like some parents do that I hate the fucking most is when they compare other like family members or just like other people to you, being like, oh, why can't you be more like this person, or why can't you be like more?
Because I'm not them.
Yeah,
that should be like, the response every time. Because I'm not them.
Because I'm not me. I'm not gonna do something boring. It's something that they like and they're good at it. Then yeah, that's how they're making their living from it. I want to do what I want and make my living out of that.
And like, let's lead that as a perfect segue into your love for acting and trying to kind of get into that more of a principle, because you know, as we talked about earlier, men on set, you know, we do, you know, doing some background. So where did the love for acting kind of come in, and like how like where do you want to take it? Like, you know, where do you want to do?
Oh, I want to do it all. Like, I want to do like all the genres, and I especially would love to be like do animation, like voice acting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I sometimes like see ads on that and audition for that. But no, my love for it probably just started right when I was a kid. Like, I got addicted to watching all the kinds of like shows and like dramas and whatnot, and then sometimes when I was a kid, I would reenact certain scenes in my head, and my parents thought I was weird when I did that. And then like, yeah, my cousins found it really funny though, because like one time I told them how much I loved the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Yep, classic.
And then I reenacted the scene where he first put on the mask and did all the weird shit and the lines and whatever, and my cousins had a huge laugh of it. And like, yeah.
I mean, that's amazing, because like, even for me, like, I always tell people it's kind of a similar story, because it was like when I first started, you fucked that before that. Like, when I was a kid, like, I always like would watch movies and like memorize the lines. I'm like really bad with like movies or songs. If I really like it, I'll watch that bitch like, or listen to it like 100 times, like straight. And it doesn't, I'm not bored or annoyed. It's like, I'm just locked in. This is perfect to me at this moment in time. So I used to do that a lot. And like, I think the first time I remember like really like getting into full wardrobe, I always told the stories like when I did I was watching Men in Black.
Oh, nice.
Fucking with it. I put on my suit, my sunglasses and shit. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm in the MIB right now, you know.
What did you use as a prop for the paralyzer, the stair?
The pen?
Yeah.
Fuck. I think I just used a regular pen. You know, back then it was like the 90s, so the pens are a little bit thicker, you know, so you could do that.
Did you at least use like a clicking pen?
I might have had one. I don't know. I was real ghetto with my shit. Like, I had maybe those like one of those things that used to like block shit, or was it for like, I don't know, train set? I don't know, some shit.
Oh my god!
But I had that and I was using that like
if
I was
that,
like
if that item ever existed, I would abuse the fuck out of it.
I think
like,
everyone.
Do you know how much shit you can get away with having that thing?
Of course, we just erase people's memory and just be like, hey, this is what happened, you know?
Yeah, hey, I'm your best friend, and you said you were gonna give me $1 million. No.
I mean, you could do that depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
There's certain people I might do that to. Like, hey, I don't think you'd be missing this, but you said you would give this to me.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, it's up to you. But you know, that's always one. But like, so.
But I guess it's also because like, I like to be like it's not like a negative thing. It's just like I like to be other characters besides myself. Not saying I hate myself. I just think it's fun being different people besides yourself.
I definitely agree with that, because like, you know, I'm in the same profession, so obviously like that's the fun part about that.
And especially if it's like a character like you really like, then
yeah, that's the fun part about acting. Because like, I tell people all the time, like, my dream role is like, I want to play like a real, like a villain, like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in general I'm not that, but I want to be
no, me neither. Like, I want to be like that whole like serial killer.
Yeah, because like,
not saying I'm
not in real life. Not in real life. No, of course not. Not in real life. Just we want to like acting.
Yeah.
You know, but like for sure, because like for me, it was like this. I want it to be, especially because like I'm in the chair, right? And I feel like in general, a stereotype I've noticed is that people like, I get to see the nicer side of humanity because I'm in the wheelchair. Because a lot of people are more like, oh my god, you know, let me do.
Yeah.
And because they do that, it's like I get this weird fly. Like in my head, I'm like, I could still be a real fucked up person, and just because I do this, because I get away with this, it's okay. And my thought is, I want to play such an evil villain that when you're watching it, you're just like, man, I can't fucking wait till that wheelchair guy gets it. Like, I can't wait till they kill that nigga in the wheelchair.
You want like King Joffrey status. Like you want to be fucking hated.
Exactly, because then I know I really did my job.
But you don't want to be the actor that played King Joffrey yet, because like yeah, sure, you're gonna most likely get death threats and shit, but that means you're doing a really good job, because like 90% of the time, it's not like they're actually gonna pull.
They're not talking to me. They're talking to the character.
Yeah.
I'm playing the character so well, they think that's me.
Yeah.
Like,
and because of that, like the guy literally like quit acting and then just went to have a regular job life.
Yeah. See, some people, it's not for everybody. For me, I think of it like if I was a pro wrestler, because funny enough, that was actually the first profession I wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I used to watch wrestling all the time. I used to do fake matches in my room with my pillows.
I used to have fake wrestling. Well, not really fake. We actually ended up wrestling. With my cousins every time we watched WWE, SmackDown, or Raw.
Yeah, we used to do that too. We used to put the mattresses in the back. You know, really, we used to really go at it. It wasn't good. So to be honest, it was kind of bad.
Yeah, there was one time we had a family party when we were kids, and me, my younger brother, and my cousins, we were all like wrestling each other, and our cousins are like taller than us and older than us by a couple of years, and they mollywopped my brother so hard that the younger cousin did the tombstone on him.
That's not safe.
He was okay, like, because he did it slowly. But what my other cousin did was worse. Like, he carried him afterwards, and he was trying to do, like, a body slam, but he lost his footing on the bed, and he ended up spinning him, and then he threw him into the wall.
Damn.
And then my brother started to cry, and then all three of us were just like, you better shut the fuck up. Because, like, we know we're going to get beat if our parents, like, hear crying or whatever. And then, yeah.
Nah, I know those ones. That's pretty much kind of what happened to me. I remember my cousins. Was it my cousin or my bro? I don't remember which one it was. But they like, back in the day they had the footrest, but they're kind of made of like wood, but they had the upholstery around.
Yeah.
They call it a sack back in the day. They put one of those on the couch and they like flipped it though, like so like the back is up. Mm-hmm. And the man powerbombed me on that, like straight boom. Oh, shit. I was like,
no cushion.
Yo, that was a tough bump. I was balling. I was like, yo, I gotta go to the hospital. My back. Like, I never felt pain like that in my life. But I bring up that whole wrestling thing to say that, like, it's like being a heel in wrestling. They're not really a bad guy, or sometimes they are really dicks. But in general, they're not, and their job is to create this reaction out of the crowd so that you cheer for the protagonist.
Yeah.
And that's how it's supposed to be, and that's doing your job. And like when you're so good at your job, that's when you become like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, where he was so good at being a heel that you start loving him because you're just like, man, this guy's a dick, but like there's something about him. Like, you're like, I don't know what it is, but I gotta fuck with this guy. And then when you're even better, you can flip the switch from love me one second, hate me the next.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that great actors can do. It's like, you can tap into that. They're so good at tapping into either you love me here or you hate me here or whatever the role is set to do. And I feel like that's always like a great thing. And that's why I'm going to, I'm putting that in the air. I'm going to do one of those situations like that. And so that's like always one of my goals. But now let's kind of like we're wrapping down. Come to the wrap down. What are some of like your goals that you're kind of looking forward to, like with this acting thing? So going so far, like
Well, I mean, obviously, like be kick ass in it for one. Be like well known, like just get like job after job. I mean, not even that, but like I guess like Hollywood status. Like not like I don't even care about the status. I just want to be like in like all the coolest like movies and like shows and whatnot, and just like kick ass and be kind of like well known for it, and like always make sure like I'm always like performing at 100%, because obviously there are some actors that are just like, oh, I know this is like a D list like film or whatever, but it doesn't mean you have to be D list. Right?
Yeah, no, I think of it like, because I take this acting shit just like how I did basketball when I was younger. And like ball was life for me, so like I take it serious. So it's like whenever I do something, I'm putting my all into it. Like I don't give a fuck if this will be seen by 2 people. I'm gonna make sure those 2 people fucking enjoyed this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's a kind of like mentality I try to bring into everything, and just be cool and someone to work, like a cool, easy person to work with. Because funny enough, I feel in this industry sometimes you don't really always get jobs because of your talent.
No, yeah, that's
You
true.
kind of just get them sometimes because you know people, you're cool, and they're like, oh, you know.
I mean, most of my jobs. I mean, not most of them. All of my jobs growing up, like once I started working, have all been through like meeting people and connections. Like half the time, like I almost like never had to do an interview till like interviews till like this year or so.
See, that's what I mean by networking, and that's like kind of the same in this industry, but you know, it has its ups and downs, but it's something that I hope you have the same mentality too with going into it. Is like, is in my thought process is I'm riding this till the wheels fall off, like, you know. There is no plan B, like.
Yeah, no, I mean, me personally, I don't even see a plan B either. I'm just scared that if I can't. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm just gonna keep going at it. To, like,
that's the thing, because like I know what you like. Even before you said it, I kind of know what you mean. Where it's like, it's a profession that we're going into that majority of people don't make a living wage.
Yeah,
you know, in general when you look at it, the odds are stacked against you. But you have to kind of have that mindset of like, this is what the fuck I'm doing, and that's the only way to kind of get it to push through it, because there's gonna be a lot of rejection, a lot of like, you know.
Oh, I'm already used to that.
A lot of yeah, but it's still, you know, it don't hurt no less.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you like read a script and you're like, oh damn, did they write this for me?
Yeah.
And then you don't even hear a callback. You're like, God damn.
Like the closest I was about to be like in a short film was, I submitted a script. I submitted an audition assault tape, and then they asked me to do a live read with the writer and the director, and that was like so much fun. And they had like no notes or anything that I needed to fix. They like really loved me. And then the next day they said I didn't get it. They found someone else, but they really like liked my work and wanted to continue sending me like stuff to audition for. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I was so defeated that day because I was just like, I think I really got my first part, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Where it's like you have these opportunities where you're like, no, I got this. Like it's there. And then you don't, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what did I do? Like, you know? So there's always those things, but like I said, you just kind of push through them, and shit, we'd have been through worse things in life than, you know, someone saying no. So It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. So before we get out of here and wrap this up, one thing, you know, I give people all this time. It's time to plug yourself. So, you know, whatever you want, socials, you know, IGs, you know. Pop that up right there if you need to be. But yeah, let's let people know what you got planning going forward.
What I got planned going forward is I'm gonna continue pursuing my dream of acting, like continue to like audition and whatnot, and just like, you know, just continue going on the grind and just like continue like being myself, because I think myself as a person, I think I'm pretty good.
Which is very key. A lot of you people out there need to be your fucking selves. You know, I'm sorry to say it like that, like, but it's true.
If you have to pretend to be someone you're not, it kind of sucks. I mean, I've done it like once or twice in my life, and it was really depressing afterwards because I'm just like, oh my god, they like this better than what I actually am.
And then you realize that these people are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So it's you know, that's just how it works. It's better off you just be you from the jump, and then you know you don't got to deal with them. But I definitely like that advice for people, and just for yourself going forward. I appreciate you coming through doing this for me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, really, really do. You know, you already know, as the people, if you made it this far in YouTube land, you already know what time it is and what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that video right there or right here or wherever we put it. But yeah, you know, it's the Wheel1 podcast. Your boy Master Twice, and we logging out.